Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Beek, and I'm very pleased to be presenting to you here at the Mossley Hill Women's Institute. Now, you may not be aware of my other brother, Tony Beek. He's also known as Anton Dubeck. Today I'm going to present to you meringues, two ways. Golden sugar meringues. Golden cassia sugar is the sugar I will be using. First of all, I need to start with some egg white. Now, the best way I find to separate an egg is to first of all crack the egg on the side and into the bowl. Then I prefer to lift it out with my fingers. My fingers are clean. I have washed them. And there we are with the egg yolk. Now, you can use the egg yolks to make maybe a creme anglaise, or you could use it to make pastry cream or something. It's very good to, or creme brulee, it's a very good way of using up egg yolks. So we've got 2 egg whites in there. Now, there are 3 different types of meringue: Italian, Swiss and French. And I'm going to be making a French meringue, which is just the egg white beaten up, and then you add the sugar slowly. Now the Swiss meringue is when you cook it over a pan of boiling water, and the Italian meringue is where you make a hot sugar syrup and pour it onto whisked up egg white. Yeah. Nice and foamy. You want your bowl to be clean and dry and free of grease.
Why?
Because any grease will render the egg whites useless. They won't whip up properly. Now the idea is that your egg whites should be stiff but not dry, and they should hold their shape. And should be able to do that. Does anyone else here made meringues before? Now, when I do my meringues, I prefer to add half the sugar all at once, and then slowly but steadily, add a teaspoon at a time. You don't have to do it too fast. Everything to do with meringues should be done quite slowly, including the cooking, of course. So, I would continue to add the sugar until you get a smooth and glossy meringue. But for the purpose of this demonstration, here's some I prepared earlier. Now, the easiest way to here's a piping bag. I always use a nozzle, even if it's plain, because even if you just use a disposable piping bag, you still get a misshapen end, so you won't get a perfect piped meringue. The easiest way to put it in the piping bag is if you put the piping bag over a jug using a floppy spatula. Now, because this meringue has been made a while, meringue should always be used straight away. It tends to go a little bit stiff, but it should still pipe. I should think. Right. It won't be quite as perfect, but once it's would have been. What's everyone's favourite meringue dessert?
Summer berry.
Summer berry? Do you like pavlova? Well, to make pavlova, you would add a teaspoon of corn flour to the sugar, and you would fold in a teaspoon of white wine vinegar at the end. Now, I just use a little bit of egg white on the bottom just to secure the paper to the tray. Now, make sure you use baking parchment, not to be confused with greaseproof paper, because greaseproof paper, they will stick to greaseproof paper. Baking parchment is silicone coated, so it won't stick. Right, I'm going to do just some little meringues. But you can also do, if you pipe a disc. Now, it might be easier for some people if you use a cup and draw around the cup So then you get the same size each time. We can just build it up like that. Popping around. Like so. Or you can do like a pavlova style, where you just pipe a blob, and using a teaspoon, you would just go into the middle and shape it like that. But in, I'm just going to pop these in the oven, as you pipe the whole tray. Now the oven's extremely hot, so be careful when you place it. Now here's some I prepared earlier.
What temperature do you want us to do?
You cook them for 1 to 2 hours, and it's 120, I prefer. Now, because these are golden caster sugar, they're slightly brown in colour, and what you want to see on the bottom is when you peel, they should be able to peel off, and you should see a nice flat bottom. If they don't peel off the tray, then they're not ready. I'm just going to leave them to one side to cool down, whilst I decorate some earlier. Now, I have got some cream here that I've whipped, and I've folded in I've got half a pint of cream, and I've folded in 4 ounces, which is 115 grams of lemon curd, and just put into a packing bag. Now I'm going to sandwich them together, like so. Everyone here like lemon curd?
Yeah. What could you use instead?
Well, you could. I quite like to make an almond praline and fold that through the cream. That's really nice, and with raspberries, that's amazing. But you could also use alcohol. You could use a nice bit of brandy or some rum or something, depending on what else you're decorating your meringues with. There are just the little meringues. I think these are just about cool enough now to do.
What is it that they're coated in?
Sorry, thank you. I've just whipped them with some chocolate, which I will demonstrate in a second. I have some melted chocolate. I've made a piping bag. Would everyone like to see a demonstration? Sorry. Square of greaseproof paper. Fold it over so you have a right angle triangle, like so. Run your finger along the crease. Take a very sharp knife. Wouldn't work with that. Right, it should come off as well, if you can do this time. Right. Both hands either side, roll it round, fold it up, and meet at the top. Adjust it, like so, and then fold it down. Very simple to do. Just some melted chocolate. I haven't tempered the chocolate, which you would do if you were wanting to keep the meringues for a length of time. Any leftover meringues you could use for Eton Mess. Very nice. I love Eton Mess, or nice in an ice cream sundae as well. For this one, I'm going to whip the chocolate over like so. But also for this one, I have some more raspberries. Now these raspberries have come from Scotland. It's out of season now, but they're grown under glass. And I've made a little chocolate runner, like so.
Is it quite simple to make the chocolate runners?
Yes.
Do you just use the chocolate bag that you've used?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. You just pipe a star shape. Ooh, hang on. Up, down, across. Is everyone watching on that thing? Around, and then just how you feel really, and then round, just to give it some structure. And then just leave them in the fridge for say half an hour, and they'll set. And there are my meringues.